now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome in episode 116 of the Palmetto Dugout Show. What's up, boys?
No,
Sammy has left us.
Sammy's had better days. I like the new intro songs. Peaceful.
It gets you ready.
It makes us feel like we're not all about to be hostile towards each other beforehand.
It's very upbeat for you.
I feel better about whatever we're about to talk about.
Oh, let's hold on. He's back on, so we've got to remove this guy.
Ooh.
Here he is.
Welcome back. Here it is.
He's back.
That's 2 weeks in a row you've got booted.
Huh?
The Wi-Fi in your bachelor pad there's not doing well.
Sometimes, shit happens. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? It's a rainy day here in Columbia. Maybe that's affecting what do we got going on? I don't know. But it happens. We got a strong signal.
All right.
We're back.
Hey, well, we appreciate all you guys joining in, especially if you're in your hot tub right now. But hey, here we are. It's a good day to be in a hot tub with the rain going on. Coach Espo, we're going to start it off right off the top here. Border Battle invites are out.
Border battles are out and rolling. Hey, we're I don't know how many weeks away, months away we're from this one already. June 10th and 11th. We're going to go work out on the 10th. The 11th, we'll go gameplay, battle it out versus North Carolina up there at UNC Charlotte. Beautiful facility up there. And really how this one works, just like we've done in the past, right? We'll go workout day. We'll do all South Carolina players, and the North Carolina guys will go. And then on the game day, we'll try to do it a 26 versus 26, 27s versus 27s, 28 versus 28s. Obviously, that kind of moves around a little bit with some travel stuff going on in there. But it's we kind of adjust that a little bit to help guys' schedules out. But the invites are out, and they're flying off right now, right? We wind up getting about 60 players each state, give or take, to fill out those rosters. And this isn't like a normal showcase where we can kind of have as many players come and go. We fill out teams and we build a roster that go on. So we can't have 25 catchers come to this event, right? We get X amount of catchers per team that come in, X amount of pitchers, X amount of infielders. So we try to build a roster per team. So if you got that invite and you want to accept it, go ahead and accept that thing. There's some stuff going on but that's why we do it on the Tuesday and that Wednesday. And this is a big event for us to help build, along with our Team Carolina Trials, that helps us build our other big invite-only events at the back end of the summer, right? And the ones that come up right after that are our junior futures, our future games, and our senior future games, immediately followed by our super sophomore games. So this is a huge invite-only event right off the bat of the summer that goes for us. So we're halfway through filling out our roster spots already. So if you have interest in it and you haven't gotten that invite, check your junk email, because a lot of times it goes in there. Check that spam, or if that's not in there, request that invite, right? Maybe you're off to a hot start, something's in there, maybe we missed you on there. We kind of do a lot of those invites based off of the rankings, the preseason rankings that go on there. And we know people make jumps and do things on there, but you want that invite, come on into that one. But it's I know we're already about halfway through. North Carolina's about halfway through filling that out. So this is a big invite deal for us. And this is one, right? We get this one all the time. What coaches are going to come? I don't know. We can't ever answer that one. We don't pay coaches to come to our events like a lot of things do. But in the past, 3+ years we've been doing this, since we've been doing it here, there's been on average 12 to 15 colleges that have come to this event. So this is a heavily recruited event at the start of the season, the summer season, right off the bat at a beautiful facility. And we got the turf, so we know we're going to get it all in over a 2-day deal on a Tuesday, Wednesday before you go off to get your summer started. So we're fired up, and we get to start off the season whipping up on North Carolina right off the bat.
That's easy. That's like an all-year thing. But Coach, you kind of alluded to it there. What are the importance of these events? Not only the border battle, but the Team Carolina trials as well.
Right. It's kind of a multifaceted thing, right? So you're building your resume, right? You build your recruiting resume that you can take control of yourself, right? Whether it's a Team Carolina trial, whether it's the border battle, to start off the summer, right? And this year we're doing 3 Team Carolina trials, right? We're starting off June 4th down at the College of Charleston, right? Then we roll into the border battle, and then we do the Team Carolina trials in Columbia. And then we're doing a Team Carolina trials north up at Wofford this year in the middle of July. But these all roll into building your resume, but also it helps us and is a big piece of our puzzle to build our roster for the future games team, whether it's the junior futures team, the future games team, or that senior future games team, right? It allows us to see these guys come off a high school spring season, right? And these high school players, we've talked about this before, the jumps players make in a 3-month span from the time that, call it the January of their going in their high school season, where it's June or July, is huge for a lot of these players. So when their numbers increase or their velocities or their running speeds or whatever it is, those numbers jump, and their ability to play the game of baseball, it bumps up and allows us to see them again, and kind of puts us into that another matrix and allows us to evaluate them and put them in the piece of the puzzle to make those teams that go in there. And those future games team this year, along with that senior future games team, it's going to be harder than it ever has, right?
Ever.
We have currently at this moment in time, as of whatever it is, March 30th, right now, we have 2 players that are committed in the 2027 class. That is because they committed with the old rules way back in the day. They committed. But moving forward, there's no more commits. So it is harder than ever. So the importance for us to see these players and get on there, and also that senior futures game team, right? There's more really, really talented, uncommitted players of that rising seniors or that's rising senior class that's out there to get out there, right? Last summer at the future games and senior future game, 425 coaches came through. 425 coaches. That's there's no other event that you can go put yourself in a 1-week span to put yourself in front of 425 coaches, right? Now it's up to you. You get out there and get that opportunity to do that, what you do with it. But it starts, right, for us on June 4th, right? And also whether it's our main events or our scout days, right? People come to scout days, right? We have a bunch of scout days that start off. Heck, we're starting off a scout day April 26th. And then we got scout days the end of May. And we're rolling in scout days into June along with our other events. And we take all that stuff and we help build those rosters, right? I know, Drew, we've sent out these paths, right, with players. And before we've done a Carson Bowman one. We've done a Stowe Rogers one. And maybe we need to recycle these ones out where these players have come to a scout day or they've come to a top prospect game back in their freshman year in their path coming up through it, and where they've gone to being recruited and getting to the future games and blah, 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 and where it's at, or to the All-American game or to the Super 60. That these events, it helps build that resume so they can get all these numbers and get this video, and helps them get everything in there to help these individual players take care of that self and get them to where they want to go. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's all set up in there for the players to get them to where they want to go and be seen.
Hashtag be seen.
We do it all the time.
Coach, I feel like you need some water after that, man.
Coach,
I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now. That's what's
let me get my Diet Cola. Can we get
a class of 2012? Is he allowed to show up to one of these events? I feel like I got some bullets left now.
Coach, come on in there. We put Drew and Austin up there. We need to get Sean up there to compete against you two. See where you guys are at.
It is.
It's Sean's turn. Speaking of that, we will switch over here to
My
some
shoulder
baseball.
says so.
A lot to
Don't
get
take
to
it off.
here. Austin, you done talking?
For now, yeah.
Don't interrupt.
We'll see.
Anyway, We'll start it off here with the Palmetto Power of the week. How about that, guys? You don't know what this is yet. Ready? Here we go. Hold on. Let's put the banner up first. Palmetto Power of the Week, Joey McGovern, 3-run homer in the top of the 10th inning against Daniel on the road to win the game and sweep the Lions. How about that one?
Coach, we had a McShovin, his older brother, but we got a McPower going on right here. I mean, it's the Palmetto Power is taking over the Twitter sphere out there. Big shout out to Joey for a massive tank right there as to do it there in the 10th to win that one. I mean, can't rule out Seneca. Drew, you were sleeping on him for so long. You got to get back out there. I mean, the Seneca fans. Seneca fans, let's start popping on Drew right now. Let's just, he was sleeping on you guys all this time, and we were trying to get you up there, but he was just he kept telling us he saw y'all and y'all weren't that good. So, Joey, congratulations. Joey, big congratulations for the Palmetto Power of the Week. I mean, that was a tank.
I'd say you got the barrel on that one.
We had a handful of Palmetto Powers that could have been in that one. But when you get that one,
there was also a big one on the first game of that series. Now, but since we're on this subject, your team of the week goes to the Seneca Bobcats for a 2-game sweep of the Daniel Lions. Game 1 was not really close; they had it the whole time, and then we get a 10th inning, basically a walk-off in a way over the Lions to sweep them. That's a region series, and Seneca starts off 2-0, and arguably that series was for the region championship.
It's like your two loves coming together there, Drew.
That's an attack, Stewie.
Like when Powdersville and Hanahan played for state championship last year.
That was
divided.
It'd be Seneca Daniel for the upper state championship.
House divided. Stewie don't know what's going on right now. But
did you hear that, Blake? He said Seneca Daniel upper state championship.
Man, going to get involved. Don't bring him in.
Blake, you hear that? I need you to get that group text fired up. He thinks the flip-flops are out.
The flip-flop game's out.
Yep. You heard that, boys.
So are we off the pain train?
I never said we were. The paint, it wasn't the pain train against Seneca.
Oh, so
Daniel didn't have their conductor for the 2 games.
It was still the pain train that just was
painless.
Big guy, painless.
Whoever was in that damn caboose was steering that damn thing.
No, that's why they lost 2 games. They had to cut the caboose off. Speaking of this, let's move to the game of the week recap. Daniel at Seneca. This was game 1 at Seneca. I was present. I'm only going to talk about one guy. We're just going to hit it very quickly here. William Cutshaw, we all know him. Future game alum, Ole Miss commit. 89 on the bump. Had command after the first inning, had command of the game pretty much. But not only that on the mound, Coach, we know it. He can hit. He hit a ball that still hasn't landed. I think it traveled to Westminster over the batter's eye in Seneca for a big homer. And the resource officer right beside me called it right before it happened. So Cutshaw did it all in game 1 for the Bobcats.
Were you standing down there in the bushes together?
We were not standing in the bushes. I was standing beside Seneca.
You just stand down there in the bushes.
See Sean start. There you go, right here.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah, mighty.
Behind the plate, dude.
Little quick.
Do that again. Let's do that again. Let's watch. Bang!
Look at Hostler, my long-haired country boy down there clapping his hands.
He knew it too.
Look at boom.
Never in doubt.
Boom. We got one clap there.
Ouch.
Coach, we know it. Cutshaw's legit. He's the big guy for Seneca this year.
Me and Austin were talking about this the other day. What was it? Friday. Also, we're talking on the phone, and we hope this don't happen because you want You want them to keep getting it, but like, I feel like every week we get the hashtag Palmetto Power from Cut. Like, at some point in time, one of these coaches is going to stop pitching that guy. But God Almighty,
He's got to be leading the state. Has anybody got more than him? He's got to be. We need to keep a stat board of home runs next year. We got the heat sheet. We need a bomb
home run sheet.
Ooh,
there you go.
Palmetto Power sheet.
There you go. If you don't tag it, you don't get put on the sheet.
We're going to put a meet on the podcast. Let's go.
I'm going to have to count people's Palmetto Powers on Twitter.
That's fine.
That's something good for you, Austin.
I can count really well. I can do that.
I mean, you guys are making it hard because everybody's posting everything. I don't know, Drew, how you or Sammy even pick one for every week. Like, it's hard.
I picked the big hitters.
Slamming McGovern.
It's got to be like a close to a walk-off or a ball that still hasn't landed yet.
All right.
So is the criteria more geared towards they hit it a long way, or it was in a big spot, or a combination of the two?
If whoever Drew had money on that week,
big pimp job, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Drew.
I mean, obviously,
top on that game.
You go top 10 and you go dead center just for a yard ball like that. I mean, I feel like that covers all the bases. I just didn't know if somebody hit one like 460, if that automatically trumped it. If it was in the 30, like last week we had a kid hit like 6 in one game.
Hey, so. I do. We need to throw this one back out there. Make sure you are tagging us. Tag our account along with the hashtag Palmetto Power. Mm-hmm. Some have slipped through the cracks because I know we're on Twitter too damn much. We do see some because we're scrolling through it, but tag us and hashtag Palmetto Power. And I will throw this one out there where we got some help with the Palmetto Power. Our good friend Matt Payne has told me the Palmetto Power is wearing his timeline up. So big shout out to all you guys for hashtagging the Palmetto Power for doing that one. But make sure you're tagging us because there has been some that slipped through that might have been the Palmetto Power of the week. Yeah. But sometimes if you just go bomb number 5 of the year and hashtag Palmetto Power, we might miss it. I mean, we
just tag Stewie.
We don't have much.
Tag Stewie in it.
We don't have much of a life, but every once in a while we're doing something, so we might miss it.
Yeah, make sure you tag it because I miss them. I don't get on Twitter.
And those show up in the diamond notes during the week, Coach, or where can you see that on the website?
We try to tag them all during the diamond notes. Yes.
Okay.
As long as when we can. Just don't always hold your breath on that one. Try to tag them all in the diamond notes. So
we moved the 2-game series of the week recap. Lexington and Chapin. And Lexington, there's only one of us. That called it. Sean called it. Lexington with the sweep of Chapin. Big region sweep for Lexington here. What are we thinking, Sean?
They weren't going to stay down for too long, right? I mean, Chapin obviously got off to a hot start and jumped up to number 1 at, had a good weekend down at Classic and then jumped up to number 1 in our Power 25. But that Wildcat train, it's always running. Hux has got those boys always ready to go. And, they're really good competitors. And, they had Cromer came back from injury, I guess. And he had been down for a couple of games or so, maybe a couple of weeks. And he came back and, they went out and had a big week. But, I guess hashtag Sean knows ball finally running around maybe the Twitter sphere for once. So that'll be cool.
Only in high school picks, not when it comes to college.
Hey, big start from our boy Ryder Carlson too, in the second game of that series. So when 5 innings, 3 hits, some punch outs, so big start for him.
That might have been one of his first starts of the season too, because I don't think I had seen his name on any. Maybe he'd come in for an inning or two here and there, but I thought that was going to be. I thought it was his first start.
Sean has been loyal to that Lexington train. There's another train down there in Columbia. I think it might be time for him to, see if he can hop off at the next station. But this one right here, man, he's been riding that thing since the start, and I applaud him for that. I mean,
thanks.
They went from top 5. He picked them to win 5A state championship or something like that. I don't remember what he picked them for, but he's been on that wagon since it initially cranked up.
When he moved to Columbia, he hopped on the train.
He had to. It's part of it.
Right down the street.
You got to you live in Lexington County. I think you got to pick a side, right? You got to decide if you're green or
It's
blue and yellow,
I don't,
right?
I don't think I'm in
I don't think he
Lexington
lives
County,
in. He doesn't live in
Close.
Lexington County.
Richland
Columbia is
County.
not rich.
I don't know a lot about Columbia, to be honest with you.
It's just the capital, but it's okay.
Yeah, I've been to the zoo down there a time or two.
Of course,
Yeah,
you
got a
have.
good zoo. Got a
It's
good
cool.
zoo.
I've actually never
Better
been to the
than-
zoo.
It's better than the one in Greenville.
It is a good zoo. You know, we just had a tiger to get put down or a lion or something. But you know, it's
Nice.
They would.
Oh,
put
that's
that
not
back.
an omen for Daniel. Hey.
Jeez.
yeah. They did purposely put a tiger down around.
Man.
We're get back on subject here.
Yeah, so- was this my fault?
It is the week of the sweep. Obviously, your 3-game series of the week. Fountain Inn took on West Side. Sean called it again. Fountain
Sean
Inn
knows
not
all the
even
ball.
close. The Fury sweep the Rams in a big region series as well. The Fury are hot.
Fountain
Well, the
Inn
good thing,
sweeps them, and Drew takes them out of the running for the upper state championship all in the same week.
that's what I was
Wow.
about to say. Good thing they got some pub on this one because they got put down like that tiger did. You know what I mean? They just got put down. So
Coach Rowland,
Drew
that was
put 'em out?
Drew Stewart that said that. Drew
yeah,
Stewart.
send all hate emails to Drew Stewart at
But who ranked
yahoo.com.
number one?
Well, I mean, you just took them out, so it's okay.
I didn't take him at number one.
I mean, it's all right. But
Big week. for
they
them.
had a bunch of Palmetto powers rolling through there. I saw again.
Well, when they
This
play at
past week.
Fountain Inn, they hit like 45.
They might be the
They playing up there.
yeah, Cutshaw may have the individual lead, but Fountain Inn's got to have the team lead. They hit like
Tennessee's baseball
20
team.
at one
They,
beat.
they hit more home runs than anybody.
Yeah, that's what they
I wonder
think.
how many of their guys have like at least 2 or 3 homers. I would bet it's like 4 or 5 people.
I'd say 5 at least.
Yeah,
Can we bring up the stats? Some people
I
don't
would
allow it.
say
I can't see him. I just tried.
Oh. I should be like
Hayes,
my
Cannon,
family member. Can I request
Irizarry,
membership?
Kelly.
Kelly have 2 at least.
I would say so.
Nicole West will respond to us.
They must
Yeah,
not be
everybody-
watching. I ain't got a text yet. They must not be watching. It's a shame.
It is a shame. They'll watch
But
tonight.
they because Drew, I remember we talked about they played 2 at West Side, right? So they went and took 2 out of 3 basically on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Big.
time.
Big time. They'll have a date with you lose with Lawrence here soon. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. We've been getting killed in the comments by the Lawrence people.
Lawrence and Hannah have been wearing us out.
Lawrence that guy didn't comment after they lost game 3, Coach.
No, he didn't.
He did. He shut up real quick, didn't he? You got to talk even when you're losing. That's the thing. Now, we'll flip it over here. We're going to flip it over to Austin. He was at a big game this week. Southside Christian took on Powdersville.
Third time was a charm.
He went to the end of the week game. Some technical difficulties at early in the week, but he made it.
Yeah, we're gonna leave all that aside. I really had full intention of going on Friday night, and I went Friday night. Got to see a good ball game. Yeah, last week was a tough one for me, but I came out of it on top. I had to represent the hat, even though it didn't go the way of the Patriot last week. Coach Padgett still one of a dear friend of the show. I know he's a bigger fan of me now than he is of Drew. He was Drew's guy there for a while, but no, Friday night we got to, we knew, we talked about it going into it. Carson Bowman is Carson Bowman, and he was, I went into it expecting him to do what he did, and I think he still exceeded that. He was up to 93, just breaking balls left and right. I think he ended up going 5 innings, and I don't have the game changer in front of me right now, but he probably faced 17 batters, maybe. I think he struck out 12. It was just they weren't going to hit him. So it was. I have not seen him pitch in 2 years. Might be 3 years actually. I'm not sure. I think I saw him when he was a freshman. It might have been 8th grade. I don't remember, but every bit of the part, frame, mechanics, just strikes. That's something we don't see a ton of with guys that throw low mid 90s, and just he was spotting 4 pitches really. Like I said, up to 93, sat 90, 92. I think 5th inning was his last inning. He was still throwing 90. So just exactly what we thought he would be. And also it's a joy to watch. I would encourage anybody who has the chance. I know there was a lot of people. I saw a lot of people there. Some guys that I talked to who really had no reason to be there other than they said, I just wanted to come watch him pitch. So just some local guys that were like, yeah, I just had to come see it. So shout out to him. He also had a big double and hit a home run to help himself out as well. And then brother Tyler, he had the huge game too. He's hind catcher for. I had to mix it in. Sorry, guys. Tyler, he had a huge game back there. I'm sure he's caught his brother. I don't even know how many times, but my man had 3 hits and 3 at bat. I think it was 3rd, 4th inning. He already had 3 hits. I think he ended up walking his last at bat. Going to play Ingram Riddle. But yeah, he had 2 hits back up the middle. Had one went backside, kind of over the third baseman in the left field. Did a good job behind the plate. But yeah, another really good. That family had a really good night Friday night, helping Southside get that win. So those 2 guys kind of led the way for. Jacob Griggs I think he had an RBI single as well. A young kid, first time getting to see him swing the bat. Albishon, I feel like I always say his name wrong. It's not how the announcer said it the other night, but I think it's Albishon. He had an RBI single. He pitched Tuesday night. I think he got the win for them Tuesday night. We saw him preseason All-State. Threw the ball well. He was DHing Friday night when I saw him. So hopefully we'll get a chance to go out and see him sometime in the spring. But just a all-around really good performance from Southside Christian. And then Powdersville, we got to see my boy Blaine Jordan pitch. And he threw the ball. He threw the ball really well for I think he was scoreless through 3, throwing strikes, filling it up. Defense was playing well, ran into a little bit of trouble in the 4th. Offensively, I think he had the only hit off of Bowman. So good night for him. I know, like I said, it didn't go his way in the box score or on the stat sheet, but for 3 innings, he was as good as I've seen him. So, low 80s, spotting up well. I think that game we played the first 3 innings in like 25 minutes. It was quick. I left. I got my truck. It was still daylight. So it was a fun night. Considering the week, big week for the Sabres. So again,
go ahead.
Go ahead and say it. Just rip it off. Whatever you got to do, I'm here for it.
That damn hind catcher pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, that's going to be the new challenge is to see how many times I can get hind catcher into our show. But
in all seriousness, though, I think you hit on the head though with Carson Bowman. We've had a lot of talented pitchers come through this state, but not a lot of them have kind of combined the arm talent with the pitchability that Carson Bowman is showing right now. And I'm sure I'll probably piss some people off along the way. They go, wow, so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. But the present stuff, along with the present pitchability right now, with obviously still projection left in them, arguably is probably one of the most talented pitchers. Oh, and by the way, he's left-handed, right? that has come through the state of South Carolina in, I don't know, maybe ever, right? I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest ever to ever come through it, but to this moment in time, you have a guy who has the stuff he has with the off-speed pitches he has, and oh, by the way, can kind of spot up and throw the ball where he wants to at any point in time and count and all that stuff, it's really second to none. And it's not only in the state of South Carolina, it's really anywhere. And he proved that when he was at our All-American game. I remember talking with Shooter Hunter, guys that don't know him, our national guy who sets up the All-American game and the Super 60. And I text him after the All-American game. I go, hey, how was Carson Bowman? And he goes, the best pitcher that was at the All-American game, regardless of class. And he goes, best stuff, best pitcher that was there. Right. And that's, something that I think is neat. If you're just a fan of players in the state of South Carolina, you have an opportunity to just go out to a high school game and it costs you $5, $8, $10, whatever it is, to go sit in the stands on a beautiful spring night and watch this guy pitch. And he's going to go off, and we're lucky we got another year with him in this state. But he's going to go off, and whether he makes it to Wake Forest, he's a first round or whatever it is, who knows who's going to know the future. But he's a special talent that can do all the above, because we've had the guy who's come through that's got the big arm talent that might decapitate a couple guys or throw a few balls off the backstop, or he's got the plus pitch ability, but maybe the stuff's not there yet and it comes down the road. He's kind of got it all right there. So he is, Austin, I think you hit on the head. People are showing up to watch it because it is something special right now.
I would argue with that, if he, being left-handed, if he threw 83 with all of the other factors he had, his ability to throw strikes, his breaking ball, change up, the feel, if he threw 83 miles an hour at top, he would still be one of the top 5 pitchers in the state with as good as all of his other stuff is. But then you take that, and oh, by the way, you take all that stuff, he throws 93 instead. There was a time, I think, Friday night, man, he fell behind somebody 2-0, and everybody back was kind of looking around like, what's he doing? Like, this ain't what he's supposed to do. But yeah, it said everything to me. Talking to a couple guys, and they're like, I just had to come watch him pitch. Like, I just wanted to come see it. But yeah, it was impressive. Like I said, but we've talked about it several times. There's kids throwing 90 miles an hour is happening a lot now relative to what it used to. But to do it from the left side with his, he moves in, out, up, down, just and not throwing it off the backstop. Sometimes it's like, oh, careful, So it was as impressive of a high school pitching performance I've seen on a regular season Friday night in a long time.
We've seen him for a long time too, since his 8th grade year.
I feel like he's been in high school for 10 years.
Watched him mow down guys in 8th grade, and here he is. Kid's gonna be special. We'll flip it to Sean here. Sean, I'm going to give you a game to start with.
Aiken and Brooklyn Casey, that was this past Monday. I got to go down, just make the 20-minute trip over to Casey and see a nice little game there. It was a kind of, the weather was looking questionable when I first showed up, but then afterwards, if you can see some of the videos that I had, you had a nice little sunshine in the back in the evening, little purpley pink kind of skies. I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. So it all turned out pretty well. But, I went down there to see 2026 right-handed pitcher Cole Harmon for Aiken. We got to see him now a couple of times. He was at the Team Carolina trials at Founders last summer, and then he was down at preseason All-State as well. He was 82 to 85 and was up to 86 with the fastball. I really like how the body moves. I think the arm works really well too. A lot of lower half mobility, good arm speed in there, good fluidity with the arm action. And then he snaps off a really good slider as well at what I have at 74, 75. He was 4 2/3 with 9 strikeouts. It's all the movements are really, really sound. It's an athletic frame. And here, I'll see it here in the video, but he's snapping off this break ball. That was clearly his best pitch. He didn't have all the fastball command, but that last one there too. That guy's fishing in the left-handed batter's box for a pitch there. So he's a really impressive kid. And, as that velocity continues to tick up, which I think it will, it's, like I said, it's a strong and athletic frame that I think is only going to get a little bit put a little bit more weight on and maybe adds a few ticks of velo. That's a kid that I'm pretty high on, and he was somebody that it did it with the bat as well. Came out with a couple of hits in that game, and they ended up going on to win the game 6-2 in 11 innings. I had to leave after the 7th there. I had a prior obligation, but I didn't get to stick it out there. But he comes through for his team. He's hitting 3-hole in the lineup. Really athletic kid. Goes out to shortstop as well when he's not on the mound, and really does it all for Aiken. So I'm really high on Cole, and I think that as that velocity continues to tick up, I think he's a guy that's going to have a lot of success and a chance to go to a high level school. And then his catcher with 2027, Tanner Padgett, who we got to see, I believe, at one of the All-State events this past winter. He was 2 for 6 in the game with a double and a base hit. The frame's still coming along. He's probably about 5'10", 5'11", about $145 or so. So he's got a lot more room to add on. But I really like the swing. I thought the hands were pretty fast. Thought it was a good path. He comes in the zone there. I mean, I want to say the one that I saw was just a nice little backside base hit off a pretty good, decent little arm from Brooklyn Casey that I'll talk about here in a second. But I like the actions too behind the plate. I think it looked pretty strong going with the footwork and things like that. And then, like I said before, as he adds onto that frame, that arm's going to develop as well as the power at the plate too. So I think Tanner's a good little ball player and somebody that we're going to want to keep an eye on here going forward as he's only a sophomore. And then on the Brooklyn Casey side, didn't turn out for the way they wanted. They had a lead for a lot of the game. Predominantly helped out by Brogan Sox here, 2026 right-handed pitcher, coming off UCL surgery in the last year. But he's a guy that it's pretty flexible. The lower arm slot's going to be tough for everybody. But that's the pitch right there. That very first one is that changeup. I thought that was his best pitch of the game. He wasn't really blowing the fastball by anybody. It was sitting at 80 to 82, but I know that velocity is going to come back. But that changeup, it's kind of got that, that parachute kind of shape to it, where it just kind of stops and seems like it just totally falls off the table. It's got really good depth and some run on it too. But that's kind of one of the ones that, as you're looking at it, it looks like it's kind of one of the pitches that's, between a splitter and a changeup, where it's got like that really low spin. It's going to be diving in on right-handed hitters and things like that. But I really like that pitch for him, and I think that's one that if he continues to develop, that's going to be a really strong pitch for him. And then, like I said before, the velocity is going to come back with fastball, and he had a pretty good slider too to complement it as well. And then the other guys that I liked was Peyton Murgo. He came in and threw a couple innings. He was 78 to 81. 3 strikeouts on the day there for him. And then curveball was big depth with 66 to 68. But he's got another high weights frame in there that I was excited to take a look at as well. But Aiken ends up winning the series 2-0, ends up taking the game that game on Monday. And then later on Thursday, I believe they won the other game 2-0 as well. So, I got to talk to their coaches and a couple of their families and stuff like that too. And they were my sleeper pick, obviously, at the beginning of the year in 4A. And they were like, hey, nice pick, maybe a year early. And I was like, hey, you never know. It is a young team. It's a lot of juniors and sophomores. And I think they only have like one or two seniors on the whole roster. And they're like top 5 or 6 is pretty much sophomores and juniors the whole way. So, they're a team that's kind of putting it all together. But, maybe this little stretch here for them was what needed to get them started off. And then they're going to take on a 3-game set against Midland Valley next week. And then Brooklyn Casey as well, took a couple of tough L's, but they're a team that's not too bad either. And they'll have 2 against Gray on Monday and Thursday, and then they'll play Chapin on Friday. So they got a pretty tough schedule here coming up this week. So Brooklyn Case is going to find out a lot about themselves here in the next week or so.
Shano, you went to another one, right?
Yes, I did. I got to see 2 games this week, and then I went out to old Lexington, where my stomping grounds, what Austin thinks, I guess, just right down the street. It's I drive around the lake, and then go south of 20. So that's
you go to that bridge where everybody's always running down there.
Yes, that one. Yeah, I drove.
He's on the dam.
Yeah, there's nothing on one side. It's just a one-sided bridge.
Exactly. And it was it was finally a nice day too, where it was like, 75 outside. There was everybody running. And I was like, oh, I'm going to take the scenic route down here today. Cause I could have tried to test the traffic down 26 and then hop on 20. But no, that's where I went over to White Knoll. That we were excited to get out there and see Isaiah Posey, 2027 right-handed pitcher. He was electric. He was 86 to 88 with the fastball. Obviously White Knoll didn't end up getting the victory, but Isaiah went all 7 innings. And then I got some numbers for him. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Just a big time athlete, 6'4", 185 pounds. That's what he's listed at. I think he has 6'5", 200 in his Twitter bio, but we have him at 6'4", 185. But he's definitely somebody that's added on some weight. This is Boone Miller here. I'm talking about Posey, but I'll jump over to Miller real quick. Miller is it's cool. Keep it. Miller's a North Greenville commit for both football and baseball. Obviously, Dutch Fork's got the football program that everybody knows about. He plays a little tight end for them, but so he's going to have an opportunity to go play both at the next level. He on the mound, he was about 82 to 85 and was up to 86. And kind of that velocity kind of kept coming as the game went on. But he had a complete game as well. He gave up 4 hits and 3 walks, so he kind of scattered a few base runners here and there, but ended up with 5 strikeouts. The fastball was pretty good. It wasn't blowing it by everybody, but it was pretty solid. But I really liked the curveball. It was big 12.6 depth, and that was between 71 and 75 miles an hour. The good high slot as well. It kind of creates that steep angle that's hard to really get on top of. Which guys are trying to look for when they're coming in that quick. But he spun those couple of pitches there. Good little combo for him. And he had a big 5-6-3 double play to end the 5th inning to finally get out of some trouble. That was really the only time he had a ton of base runners on base. But yeah, he had a big double play in there to get out of it. And other than that, he was pretty unscathed the whole rest of the time. So yeah, he's a pretty good little player there. And, came out there on the mound and showed what he had with that against that White Knoll offense. And then jumping back to Posey, I wanted to mention him just to make sure we have the video because it was pretty good. We had him at the Junior Future Games now a couple years ago. He was a guy that was, he was probably upper 70s into the low 80s. And we were like, okay, this guy's, really lanky, got some good projection in there, pretty strong. I know he's a basketball player as well, but he came out there and was just lightened up. Like I said, he was 86 to 88 and grabbed a 90 and really didn't have a ton of base runners the whole game. And, a pretty veteran lineup, I would say, for the Dutch Fork guys. They had a lot of seniors and juniors up there at the top of the lineup. But I mean, it's pretty electric. Like, it's really athletic. The lower half moves really well. The arm is super whippy and really fluid. He was mixing in a good slider as well at 70 to 73, kind of that tweener between the curveball or slider. But he's got a lot of good stuff, and that arm talent's only going to continue getting better. Here, what else I got on him? He didn't have very many misses in the zone, which I kind of noticed. That was something that he really limited base runners all the way around. Fought a couple errors here and there, and they pieced together a couple singles to put some runs on the board and some wild pitches and stuff like that. But none of the misses were in the zone, which I thought was really impressive. He would spin in that curveball in there, which he was starting to find feel for as the game went on. And he was missing at the bottom of the plate or in the dirt, like that there. If he wasn't getting swing and miss down there, he was missing down there where he couldn't get hit. Which I thought was pretty impressive. Maybe he's not doing that on purpose, I guess, but just something that if he's kind of doing that naturally, that's something that you're really gonna like going forward. But yeah, he was really solid out there. And then back to some of the hitters on the Dutch Fork side. 2026 third baseman Coleman Fryer. He had a nice RBI single that I got a little video of. I'm sorry, I didn't say him, Drew. My bad.
He wasn't.
Yeah, you SOL on that one.
Yeah.
All right, Coleman. We didn't get video, but it's out there on Twitter. He had a nice base hit. He's this big 6'4" kid. The
scout
timing's a
blog.
little off. Yeah, in the scout blog, you can find all these guys. Fryer, he's a big 6'4" frame, but he's a guy that the timing isn't all the way there with the load and stride. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a long stride that helps him lose, that doesn't let him use all of his power. But he's just kind of one of those guys, got some tall guy power. You can see it in there. And so yeah, if he can kind of clean up that timing, he's somebody that I think that pop is going to really start to develop. And then another guy that I liked was Luciano Cesario, the 2026 first baseman for him. A big physical kid, 6'1", 220 pounds, good left-handed swing. Here he had a nice little backside double on a fastball outside of the plate. But yeah, I really like the swing. It's got a good rhythm to it. He had this double here and he ended up scoring a run on a wild pitch that opened up the scoring for Dutch Fork. But it's a good short path too, and in there, and it's like I said, it's a big physical frame, so there's a lot of power. And he's coming in, and I hadn't seen him before, but it was kind of a guy that I'm like, okay, I feel like this swing is going to be able to play, and obviously against an arm like Posey, when he was coming in there throwing upper 80s, low 90s, obviously being able to hit stuff like that is pretty solid. So I kind of like that, and he was obviously just flicking the ball the other way there too. So it was a good game to go to. And obviously, like I said, Dutch Fork pulls out the 2-0 win. And we didn't even mention Ethan Offing, which obviously the Clemson commit, which no video of him. He had one hard hit right at the shortstop that ended up being an error. But that guy just moves different. I think he's a guy that, obviously we had him at the future game, so we've been able to see him showcase his talent a little bit. But that's a guy that I think, he's committed to Clemson, which is too bad. But I think there's a chance he don't even make it to Clemson. So that just had to have a quick shout out for him there. But he's a guy that's always really freaky athletic, and he's quarterback of the football team too. So obviously he's got a winning track record there as well. So he's just a good competitor and somebody that we're going to want to keep watching here for the next couple of years for Dutch Fork.
You hope so, Sean.
I do. I really hope so with him. Yeah.
We got one more game to get to here. Espo.
Rolled up. This is where the whole hide and catcher comment comes. Roll right up. Boom. Hide and catcher. Look at him. Hey, I'll roll up, right? Beautiful night here in Rock Hill. Roll up there. 4 mil comes off the bus. And just right off the bat, I mean, before you blink an eye, I mean, it was 10-0. I mean, and our player of the week didn't stop. I mean, I think he ended up his first at bat, his first swing fouls went off, second swing doubling the gap. I mean, he just kept wearing it off. I mean, he rolled, I mean, up and down the lineup, 4 mil, as deep of a lineup as you can have. I mean, it was an impressive group those guys have. I mean, here it is right here. I mean, he gets a fastball up and away from himself right here, and he just drives his ball. And if you haven't been to Rock Hill's field, it is a big, deep park, and he drives this ball up into the right center gap into the wall with ease right there. And he's done it. And his next at bat, another single. His next at bat, another one. I think by the time he got his fourth at bat, they wound up getting him out of the game, and they got some other guys in there. But it was an impressive night all the way around for 4 mil. I don't know that lineup. There's not any time off. I mean, for the pitcher going at those guys from the top of the lineup, from the bottom of the lineup, they just keep coming out of waves. They got some older guys up top. I mean, I was talking with another coach up that way on Friday, just in general. I think they got 16 seniors on that 4 mil team. Right. But it doesn't stop there. They got sophomores in the lineup. They got freshmen on the team. They got juniors. And they started the senior Alex Carrera on the mound, who just recently had committed, and he was 80-83, throwing a lot of strikes with a great breaking ball. And he goes, I think it's just 3 innings, but then they bring in a 26 right after, and he's up to 87 with a plus breaking ball. And he comes in, and they're already up. They're up 10 runs at that point in time. But it's, Fort Mill's team in that area, and we've touched on it a lot, right, with just that group of teams up in that Fort Mill, Rock Hill area with them at Catawba Ridge and Indian Land and all those boys up there. But Fort Mill that night was extremely impressive on that Wednesday night last week, up and down the lineup. I mean, you could have just picked anybody out, and luckily we had the cameras rolling. We were able to collect and get a bunch of tweets and a bunch of hitters out there, because I'd have been doing wind sprints back and forth trying to get some stuff. But Rock Hill was able to get a bunch of 27s out there as well. Braden Brogdon, who we had known some stuff on as well, had a couple knocks as well. Left-handed hitter for Rock Hill. Got a base hit bunt. Also showed some athleticism, getting a 4-0 down the line from him, but also stood in there off a tough right-hander with a breaking ball. Got a single up the middle for that. But they got a couple young hitters up there as well at Rock Hill. But Fort Mill, it was an impressive night to watch those guys up and down that lineup. I was extremely impressed by those guys, because we've seen some of those hitters over the years, and these guys are now seniors at the front end of the lineup. But we're going to see some of those younger guys that are sophomores, juniors and sophomores that are as talented as those seniors are for the next few years as well. So kudos to Rock Hill for just keep pumping out the talent up there.
Here we are.
We're here. Hey, they got a big series. They got a big series, I think, every week this week. I mean, every weekend up there.
Big series. That's a tough region. Hey, every week. Now, as we move to our game of the week, 2-game series of the week, 3-game series of the week. Well, let's look at the records so far. Sean takes the lead after a 3-0 week. He's 6-3. Austin in second. Poor Espo is the caboose, but I'm really close to him, so it's okay. I go 0-3 last week, so that's why I'm 3-6. And Sean goes 3-0. But hey, here we are yet again.
It's a new week.
It is. Let's look at them. So let's switch it back to here. All right, your game of the week. Gilbert takes on Airport on Monday. Number 12, number 19. Power 25 will be updated next week, so these may change. However, this is where they currently stand. I'll pick first. Give me Airport in a home game to win the first game of this series. I think Sammy's next.
I'm gonna go Gilbert. I gotta go something different then. We gotta make up some ground here.
Give me Airport.
Good, I like that.
I'm gonna regret it, but I'm gonna go Gilbert too. I think they'll probably throw a pretty good arm. So that's tomorrow. Somebody's got to go see it, right?
I've already sent it to you, Sean. I'm just waiting on you to decide.
Well, it's TBD. We got some storms rolling through here, so that tomorrow will be TBD. You know, we got
the amount of rain we've gotten here today. Nobody's going to play for 3 days up here.
we got some tornadic activity might roll through the Great Midlands tomorrow. So you never TBD on these games tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Down there in Lexington County.
Jesus Christ! Here we go. Your 2-game, 3-game. Sorry. Let's go back first.
Oh, whoa.
We're going to go
spoiled that
series
one.
of the week. Blythewood takes on West Florence. Blythewood, the number 1 team in the Power 25. Give me the Bengals 2-0.
Well, I think I'm the only one here who's had the luxury of watching West Florence play. They're a talented team. I'm going to go split on this one. I love Blythewood. I think they're very, very talented and deep team, but I think West Florence got some boys to split one here.
Go Blythewood, sweet.
Ooh,
I've been picking
I'm with you,
split
Sam.
every time I can. I think it's a bad move for me.
Well, I'm going split because I picked all the bold ones last week and got them right, which is whatever.
did.
But I'll go split here. I think West Florence got a pretty good team too. We're sleeping on them.
Well, the series that everyone will be watching in the state of South Carolina takes us to the 3-game series of the week. Somerville takes on James Allen. It's a top 5 matchup. Somerville's hot. James Allen talented. However, we've been sleeping. Give me the Green Wave, 2-1.
we have been sleeping. We've been snoozing on the Green Wave. I'm going Green Wave 2 as well, 2-1.
Austin,
I'm
we
gonna
can
take-
skip you.
Sir,
We can skip you, Austin.
I'm going to take James Allen 2 out of 3.
That's what I said. We can skip you.
Yeah. You probably thought I was going to pick him to sweep. I thought about it.
I'm thinking about it too, Coach. I'm gonna go James Allen 2 out of 3.
We're split. We're split here.
Me and Sam here pulling for the Green Wave. That's why we ranked him number 2.
I wore my James Allen hoodie yesterday. So.
You can
Yeah,
tell
they-
who's
they-
involved in the rankings, Coach. We picked.
Yeah. Come on, we're trying to get you guys to number 1. Let's go.
We're trying to maintain our rankings here.
Speaking of rankings, I don't know, you might have this on here. Let's reiterate, we do the rankings every 2 weeks. So, right, so when just because you have a good week doesn't mean
Hey,
we're going to instantly redo the rankings, right? We do it every 2 weeks
and
to,
that's
to do those rankings.
the thing, Coach.
Or on the
A lot of
flip
these-
side, just because you might have just if you have a not so great week, you might not drop right then and there.
You may
Right.
not, but a lot of these teams that play some no teams, we have now separated these rankings into quad 1 wins. You got to have those to be at the top now. If you play nobody, if you play all these quad 3 teams and you go 3-0, who gives a
We're on
shit?
the
Beat
we're on the
somebody that
Warren-
matters.
We're on WarrenNolan.com right here, getting some rankings, some strength
Coupon.
of schedule.
Coupon.
Coupon.org.
But yeah,
we'll do the BCS system all over again. Here. It's all a computer system.
Putting it into Chat GPT and see what spits
Yep.
it out. Every
See?
2 weeks, though. Every 2
Every
weeks
2
we update the race. So this week we won't update it, but next Sunday we'll talk about it, and then on Monday we'll release it on the show, and then Monday we'll release it on the intranet.
And it says it scrolling across the bottom.
Yeah, it's right there, coming next week. So
no excuses.
So just because you have a good week don't mean anything, because you can just easily have a bad week.
That's right.
It's hard to read the ticker when you're in the hot tub, Coach.
And just like we'll get to this one. Player of the week, we don't release in the middle of the week for that week that's going on. Right? It's basically we release it on Tuesday for what had happened the last week. What had happened is for what had happened the last week. So we got to get all the information. We got to gather it all. We got to let the people vote on it, and then we got to give people what they want.
That's right. Now, anything high school or baseball related left? If I covered everything here, guys, other than the high school recap show will be back this week. Missed a week due to some technical difficulties.
We didn't make college picks.
I said high school baseball. Listen.
Wow.
Aggressive.
Wow. That was aggressive.
As we end here on the high school baseball
I thought you were wrapping it up, Coach.
No, I ain't wrapping it up yet. A lot of big series this week. We got a lot of guys covering this week. So stay tuned to those social media accounts for those big games. Now, as we move to college baseball,
college picks, Drew.
Let's throw up the current point totals for the college pick. Austin leads with 21 and Sammy 21.
Yeah.
Big week for Sammy. I shot up too. Sammy, me and you tied this week with 12 points. Austin had 11. Sean had 9. So big.
Sean will stop picking with his heart.
Sean, you know what you have to do.
I should have.
I mean, Saturday. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Sitting at the game, and I'm like, shit, I'm about to win this damn pick'em this week, because we're taking 1 out of 3, and that did not happen. So
Sean, quit picking the Gamecocks. I
Lexington
picked against the Tigers and I lost.
Yeah, but you don't have to pick sweeps. I can't pick sweeps, Coach.
Coach, you have to pick sweep. The Gamecocks get swept. I mean, if you would pick the Gamecocks get swept every time, you would be like, you'd have 45 points right now.
That's math.
Wow. Jeez.
Anyway,
the math ain't mathing right now.
The hostility over there is through the roof.
I know.
We're gonna
right
pick
out of the screen right now is
technically I should have 21 points because I picked the Clemson
technically.
That was the first pick. We'll rearrange those points.
Of course. So here we go. He's
like
losing.
bowl pick them all over.
Like,
but y'all would have 20. But you and Austin would have 22.
Here we go.
I would still have 18.
Here we go.
We'll pick 3 games here. LSU travels to Oklahoma.
I gotta go back and look at who I picked. Hang on.
I know. So do I.
I haven't picked these yet.
Of course, you know. He collects all of our picks,
and
we do.
Give me the Tigers to sweep on the road.
Wow,
that's tough.
Who's next?
It would be the same order, so it'd be Sammy, then Austin.
I'm gonna go LSU 2 or 3.
Same.
Oklahoma 2 out of 3. That weird.
You took Oklahoma this week, and they let you down
on the road, and they played it tough. Bama's good too.
Bam, roll tide.
Blitz, Bama, blitz.
We're gonna stay in the state with these teams. These are 2 of our picks. The Tigers travel to Cal for a 3-game set. Cal has put up some runs. I don't know they're any good, but the Tigers always find a way to lose 1 game. So give me the Tigers 2 out of 3.
Took the Clemson 2 or 3.
Nothing says conference weekend series like getting on a plane for I don't even what is that, like 18 hours? I have no idea. I feel like it's a long time. I'm going Clemson sweep.
Woo!
The boys got to get hot. I picked them to win the whole thing. I need them to get hot.
You know, it's not as much the 6-hour flight to California. It's probably that one back. that might get you. So maybe if we get them on this pick 'em on the next week, we might go the other way.
Yeah, they really lose. They actually lose like 10 hours on the way back. That's tough.
Because they get Stanford the next week, I think.
At home?
They just need to stay out there. Or is it at home?
Home.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be some trees.
The orange guys 2 out of 3.
Again.
You just can't help it.
Okay.
One last series. South Carolina travels to Mississippi State.
Why is this on the show?
Both teams have a great record right now. However, it's time. Mississippi State wins 2 out of 3. Gamecocks finally winning it.
God, you know, the Chickens have been in some games. They ain't won many of them, but they've been in them. They had an opportunity to. They played them tough. I think they go down to Stark Vegas and get 2 down there. I think they win 2 or 3 down to Stark Vegas. What? Why am I killing you?
Because I know what I'm about to pick, and it's going to be the opposite of all y'all, which is crazy.
He's not going to pick them to get swept.
He's going to pick a Carolina sweep.
Oh,
You smoking that tree, boy.
I want give me Mississippi State 2 out of 3. This might be a battle to. Is there still 2 teams that don't make the conference tournament?
No, they all make it now.
This might be the battle to see who don't get in. But
still got Missouri over there, Coach.
This is going to be the battle to see who gets the 9 a.m. game on that Tuesday morning. This might be a rematch. Give me
the video of Coach Maneri talking to himself in Dugout in the 9th inning.
Did you see the caption of it?
No, I didn't read. I just watched the video.
I saw a caption on somebody's Twitter that said, "I've got to quit taking backup Clemson players."
I mean, Nate Hall's doing fine. That other guy hasn't seen the field, but I don't know. Hail State sweep because I got to go against them somehow. If I pick this and I'm right, then I win here, and if I'm wrong, then the team wins. So I feel like it's a win-win.
Of all the weeks that you finally picked them to get beat, you finally picked them to get beat against Mississippi State.
I feel like I don't know. They're
He's going reverse psychology.
Exactly. If they showed me anything with pitching, I would feel different, but I don't know.
Okay, Sean.
Thanks.
Sean is like feeling it now. What?
How did I get the dogs in here, man? We got the dogs going to Texas.
Hey, you know the only person that called the dog sweet?
I want to know why.
Do the dogs play the Bowls this year?
Yeah. No.
No Tennessee this year.
Dang.
No South Carolina either.
Damn. That's good.
They might play Tennessee. No South Carolina for sure, but Tennessee might be.
That'd be a good series.
A lot of homers.
Well, either way, it doesn't matter. I think it would be at Georgia. They went to Tennessee last year.
Austin will end up there. Boys, I have nothing else. Do we have anything else to add to the show?
Okay, so we hit Liam Doyle, which is the crazy thing, right? We got a bunch of singles and stuff here and there, but we hit him. And then the next game, we're in it the whole time, and then we blow it at the end with our guy who we put on Friday night. And I just it's a confusing team because they hit it well sometimes, and then they don't. But it's only singles, right? Like we always talk about. And then they got no speed except for when in that last game we finally got a little bit, the last inning of the first game, shortstop goes yard, right? But I don't know. It's a crazy team. But it's frustrating because I don't understand like you're saying Tennessee's going to come and roll in, and that's what y'all were all expecting, and I felt like we competed, right? Like I don't know.
Wasn't tough.
No. That's going to be our MO for the whole year is play them tough. That's what we got. Yeah.
Grit.
Grit.
And we got Sammy's son rolling out there on Saturday with a damn Tennessee hat on. What the hell's that about?
He's a Tennessee fan. Well, I mean, what do you want him to do?
Sean, he's a little kid. He pulls for everybody.
He's 12.
No,
what do you want him to do?
No, he doesn't.
His 2 favorite colors are orange and purple. He's 12. What do you want him to do?
That's even worse.
When you were 12, didn't you want to pull for a winner?
No, I was all Atlanta, everything. We didn't win a whole lot.
Speaking of Atlanta, when the Braves going to get on the board? Are they going to start 0-7?
They need to get
they're
them
trying
bats the Yankees got, Coach.
They need to revert
Can we
the
get them-
fungo-looking bat.
The
An
torpedo
upside-down
bats.
fungo.
How is that
Yeah,
legal, by the way?
I think the
Weight
only requirement
distribution.
is the weight.
That's going to be banned in the next week by MLB.
No shot.
Well, as long as
not
it
no-
meets the specification, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's the size and the weight.
The Yankees being good is good for baseball. They're going to make it where
It's
nobody
all
else can use
baseball.
them.
Screw the Yankees.
What, they hit 8 home runs yesterday?
Yeah,
Judge
You know,
Harris.
Devers has broke
they've
the
scored like
record for
60 runs
strikeouts.
this weekend.
Devers is awful right now.
Didn't he break the record for strikeouts?
He broke a record for the only player I saw it today, which I never would have. 6 straight games he has struck out 3 or more times, going back to last year.
18. Son of a biscuit eater.
Yeah,
I mean,
6
is
straight.
it good?
And he was concerned about what position he was going to play.
He should be.
Yeah,
a
right.
Heisman.
Well,
Jeez.
That's second. Well, you know, stuff being a Sox fan. Anything else, boys? Sean, Sammy, Austin?
oh, good.
Well, everybody's good. We're not going to ask Austin. Anyway,
I'm here.
that's going to do us for episode 116. On episode 117, we'll release the Power 25 update from all of us here at Prep Baseball, South Carolina. We hope you have a great week.